Alright, so I closed down my video editing software, and that seems to have bumped the frames per second back up. Let's see. No, it dropped back down again. Alright, it's Chrome. I have Chrome open because I'm uploading videos to YouTube right now. That's probably the big no factor. So yeah, when we were last talking, I was talking about the campaign in Titanfall 2 and how phenomenal that thing is. Like I said, you're given just enough time to be connected to the world, to go and feel like a badass, but at the same time, you're given enough. Oh wait, yeah, I wanted to go here. Um, I'm gonna go and yeah, set up a portal here. Didn't need to do that. But while you're, I think the analogy I had was, while you're Superman, there's a lot of criminals in your way, and any of them, can go and kill you. So you are fragile as a pilot, and then you get into the Titan, and you're just mowing these enemies down like it's nothing. It's the contrast between the two there is. I mean, I guess it's not the contrast that's great, but it gives you two really different feelings that are like you're badass, but you're badass in different ways, right? It's either you're a survivor or you are just oh, that was dumb. And then even in like the multiplayer, right, where you're facing against other sweats and their badass titans, like there's always satisfying kills. Any player can kill any player, just about any weapon, and just the way, like I said, it's just a whole lot of badassery on, it's just without compare, I believe. At least for all the games that I've played. I've never played another game where I can, you know, like I said, just go and heck, even snipe three players around from across the map while I'm or pulse blade them, execute, I don't know, and then just drop your Titan and face off against the other Titans that have been dropped in the world. It's just badass beyond compare, and I can, you know, I play it decently. Yeah, food station. I play it decently. I'm not like incredible, but I have gone and sunk like 300 hours plus into that, which is somewhat comparable to my Apex gameplay. But that's we're gonna bring that up in a later episode, I think. Oh, I have the Grimchild with me now. No? Can I, oh, I didn't even realize I could go up here. Aw, you look so happy. Aw. Well, all the girls have left me, so I guess Willow's my new girlfriend. Though she may want to eat. Okay, so then the next game I have on my list. Well, okay, so actually, let's talk. The one problem with Titanfall 2 is very few people play it. So the lobbies are full of sweats. Yeah, competitive sweats who can just trick shot you from across the map, and sometimes that gets annoying. Not gonna lie. What's that sound? It's kind of like singing. Seems to be coming from up here somewhere. I think there's something there. Maybe there's a way to approach it from above? I hear you, I just don't know how to get to you. Is that Cornifer? That can't be Cornifer. Is he offhand by where Cornifer was? Mr. Mushroom. Okay. Huh. All right. Uh-oh. Willow's gonna eat him. Alright. Yeah, so like I was saying, the big problem with Titanfall 2 has been the popularity. Unfortunately, it's kind of unknown, and while there have been a couple of different like resurgences when different platforms get the game, it's not at the level that I wish it were in terms of popularity. Okay, so then, yeah, so the next game on my list is one that I haven't played in a long time, but still to this day is a favorite. It's Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now, this is like the first like video game I really invested into. Like there was a guy at like the place that I went to for like I guess it was more of a daycare than a summer school. Um, but like it was a school. Oh gosh. Wait, can I? Okay. So I guess that completes that entry. Will you get even more infected? Oh no. Okay, so is there... I think that's all for here then. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm going down to Deep Nest to go and kill some of these guys. And then there's a couple of things there that I want to... Yeah, and these things as well. And then... Yeah, soon I'll have my bestiary complete. Okay, great. Great. So, yeah, just Twilight Princess. I got introduced to the game because one of the people that I met at this daycare, summer school, whatever you want to call it, had the like the guide for it. Um, right, like not the solutions guide, 'cause it's not like a problem, but like the gamer's guide for it, and I was just so enthralled into that, um, and ever since, like, I won't say like I know everything that goes on in the game, but uh, like I don't know every single minute little detail. Like the thing that I was thinking of, like what's the name of the boss in the Arbiter's grounds? Like I don't know the names of the bosses and things like that, but I've just invested so much into that, and I really just love Twilight Princess. I think the environment or the tone, right, and the aesthetic, the dark and grittiness, the world caked in shadow. That's just there's something about that that just really makes it my favorite of the Legend of Zelda games. And you can argue all you want about the other games. You can make a case for Breath of the Wild, I think, but I don't. Breath of the Wild just doesn't compare to Twilight Princess for me. The only issue I have with Twilight Princess really is the difficulty. Though I think in later, like the Wii U version or the HD remaster or whatever they came up with, I think they added a little bit more difficulty in there. But I think that just means that the bosses are harder to are you need to hit them more often. You know, it's not like adding any special attacks or anything like that. Gosh, okay, I got completely turned around here. Oh, it healed me already. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so I want to go left and up to get to I want to go up to the failed tramway, yeah, to go and beat up the next enemies. But yeah, Twilight Princess is just, oh gosh, like the enemies, like the bosses though, are just so badass, right? Like maybe Diababa, the plant guy, maybe he kind of falls short. But like the fiery giants, the Goron mines, that is yeah, the fiery Goron giants, in the Goron mines, and then you have the giant worm underwater. Now that I'm talking about that, I really don't remember many of the enemy bosses' names. Which is unfortunate. I'm probably gonna just go look them all up. Oh, I think the water temple started with an M. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, it's just exceptionally badass. Like you're fighting this giant dragon, a city in the sky, the giant pit of quicksand, or maybe not it's not quicksand. The giant pit of sand, and the giant reanimated skeleton, trying to climb its way out of it. God, it's just the boss fights are just the bosses are just so gritty and badass, and it's really unfortunate that they all just kind of have the same sort of structure where you find their weak point, you hit their weak points, and you win. And it just goes through 3 different phases. It's really a shame that that the difficulty isn't there. But I just think when it comes to the Legend of Zelda games, it's either that or what do you call it? It's either that or Majora's Mask. I don't think anything else like comes close to having that sort of style, and yeah, I know a lot of people like Breath of the Wild. I am honestly just not a huge fan. I wanted more from it, and while it's great that there are, it's great that the mechanics in that game are so well done, I don't know. I want something different. I want a world that, isn't just about, oh, let's go and vary up all the terrains and make I can't really speak to I can't really speak poorly of Breath of the Wild's map. Maybe I should stay clear of that. But I don't know. I really love Twilight Princess. I think it's the best Legend of Zelda. It's definitely the best Legend of Zelda game I've played. Dang, I'm almost have enough Geo to go and buy back Greed, and then I can kind of just equip that on me full time. I know Twilight Princess like the back of my hand. And the reason why that is because I've spent so many hours just learning what I can about the game, how to play it. Its one downside is I think it's not difficult enough. But I think it's really great. I think it's really great. Anyway, so yeah, that's my top 5 games. I'll go and repeat them if you haven't seen the first of this recording session. The top game was Final Fantasy VI. And then after Final Fantasy VI, which is great for its the RPG aspects, and then the characters are just well made. Everyone from the protagonist to the villain, and all of it is portrayed so well in a pixelized form. I wish they could they would come out with a remake of that. Next up is Horizon Zero Dawn, which is just the world building, and the way the story integrates into that world building is just is beyond compare for me. I have not seen a game that does an open world as well as Horizon Zero Dawn did. I was able to capture the wilderness, and maybe Red Dead Redemption's the I'm thinking of the South Park episodes where everyone just gets obsessed with Red Dead Redemption. But so maybe I haven't gone and experienced the wilderness like Horizon Zero Dawn's, because I haven't gone and played games like Red Dead Redemption or whatever. But yeah, I can't think of a better open world game that I've played than Horizon Zero Dawn. Then third up was Persona 5, which, while I have not completed it, the thing that won me over was the aesthetics and presentation, the music, the visual style, in combat and outside of combat. Like, it's, oh my goodness, I just think it's so good. Does I want to come here? Gosh, I think I'm getting a little bit lost in here, not gonna lie. Oh, okay, no, I know where we are. Okay, so I didn't want to go up one, to keep going to the right. So, yeah, that was Persona 5 is next up. The only issue, the main issue I have with Persona 5 is it doesn't play well to completionists. I want to know everything that happens, and unfortunately I think I'm just going to have to go and look that up in a guide once I go and complete my playthrough. Simply because there's way too much happening, way too much to do, way too much to see in that game. Oh, that's a dick move to go and have that there. Yep, and then the last two games on my top 5 are Titanfall 2, which I started talking about this episode, or which I finished talking about this episode, which is just, you just feel badass when playing that game, as long as you're playing it well. Like if you're constantly getting shot by cravers from across the map, maybe you won't enjoy it as much as I do. But I think it's, the feeling of badassery is just beyond compare. I think I've used that phrase, beyond compare, a lot. It makes me feel like a badass playing that game. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, then it's, there we go. Alright, come on. No, beat up this thing. And then, yeah, we end off the list with Twilight Princess, which, just has great aesthetic, really great boss design from like a aesthetic point of view, though the actual fighting them is a little bit weak. The difficulty on Twilight Princess is pretty low, not gonna lie, and that's why it's kind of at the bottom of the list, because the gameplay, I don't think the gameplay stands up as well as it does for other games. yeah, so that's the list of my top 5. And kind of the reasons why. And it's varied why these games win for me. Whether it's, like I said, whether it's aesthetic, story, world building. World building and story kind of fall hand in hand, but Horizon Zero Dawn specifically, that does a really great job. So I was told there's an area behind here. Oh! Okay. Okay, let's go leave and come back, I guess. Scared him off. Friendly. I want to kill it. But yeah, so I guess the next part of my list that I went and created was I basically created a list of games that are my runner-ups, and I don't, what's the count on this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 9. 9 games I have on here. Maybe I can go and add one more and make it around 10. But yeah, so well, yeah. Okay, so yeah, the runners-up, Final Fantasy 9 or Final Fantasy 10 and Final Fantasy 7. 10 does a really good job of world building and characters, though you can kind of cheese the game, and I'll admit that the protagonist oh, okay. Okay. Alright. I'll come back. And hopefully you don't want to eat me again. So yeah, Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII, my main problem with Final Fantasy VII is it's incomplete. It's unfinished. The original, at least. Okay, so you just... Okay. So you give me a piece of information, then you want to kill me. Okay. I do want to go and check out something in the Beast's lair, I guess, as I'm killing the enemies in there as well. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII is unfinished, and there are parts of Final Fantasy X that are pretty cringe. Okay, so you can't damage me too. I need to use the dream mail on her. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII is definitely unfinished, like the original. There are so many bugs and stuff, and there's so many bugs and things that are left in the game but unused. It's rather disappointing because I think they really had something good there, and the fact that they don't have it all. Oh, come on, you're not gonna protect me now, Grim Child? One last time, and then I'll go do what I was trying to do up here in the distant village. Yeah, so Final Fantasy X, there are a lot of places that can get kind of cringe, but gosh, that game makes me cry. Like it's so touching, and they've got some really fantastic. Okay, so that's the last of what you said. And combat's very unique. The combat format that they have, though it's really easy to get overpowered and lose on the difficulty curve, I guess. Oh. Oh gosh. So then after Final Fantasies 10 and 7 comes Metroid Prime, which gosh, I just love Metroid Prime. Like the first one. Uh, the feeling of isolation and loneliness, and then it's just really good. Like a maybe not a 3D platformer, but a first-person shooter version of the classic 2D Metroidvania that people have been used to by this time. I just think it's really great, and it's one of the first playthroughs I watched through for Nintendo Capri Sun, who's my favorite LPer. He does a lot of these walkthroughs and stuff like that. So then after Metroid Prime, I'm gonna try not to spend too much time on listing these ones out. Majora's Mask. It's creepy, and and I think I think that's a good thing, honestly. Um, yeah, but the whole mechanic, the 3-day cycle is just so unique and well done, and I love that. All the different masks you get to wear. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love Majora's Mask. Now, I like Twilight Princess better, but maybe that's just because of the graphical updates that occurred between these two ages. Yeah, I wanted to check out this guy because now that I have this thing. Okay, so I guess the queen of the spiders or something like gave up their soul for or gave up their life for the beast. I think that's what that enemy guy that tried to eat me was trying to say. I didn't catch their name. Yeah, come on, Grimchild. Kill it. Ah, there we go. Atta boy, or atta girl. So then after Majora's Mask, Apex Legends, it's in a completely different genre, right? It's a battle royale, which is very different than any other games. But I supported Apex Legends, played through it because I wanted to support the developers Respawn, who are also the developers of Titanfall. which is that's what drew me to play the game. But then I've just become enthralled with the characters. One more, okay, fine. And yeah, I think I'm definitely improving. I'm still not great though. Still got a lot to learn. But yeah, I love it. I love watching it competitively. Oh, did they not respawn? That's weird. Okay, let me leave the room and come back. Yeah, so Apex Legends. Then I've written this game with a question mark beside it. I love the world building here too. Just like the different races. Right now we're crawling through the spider kind of area. They're sort of like centipedes and millipedes earlier, right? So you've got all of the many-legged creatures, but then you have the mantis village. You've got the fungi. It's there's so many different races, and it's not that they all have their role per se, but they all sort of flesh out this world of bugs and critters and jellyfish. That's kind of a different one. And then there's a deeper lore, you know, ruined sort of kingdom in ruin lore, and they just fill it out so nicely, so nicely. Just the different races are just so cool to me. All right, so I've taken care of. I want to go to here. I want to go and dispute the Molex. Fuck you, White Palace. So yeah, Apex Legends, Hollow Knights, but like I haven't completed this game, and I am not a huge fan of platformers simply because it's not that I haven't been good at them, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of platformers, unfortunately. I'll probably play through Celeste, but only on the A sides. And maybe I'll collect all the strawberries, but B side is too much for me. I don't think I'll go and really go and do that, because at the end of the day, platform. I mean, like you probably saw in the last sort of series of videos I did where I was struggling through the White Palace, but at some point it just frustrates me. At some point it just frustrates me that I have not made this jump in however many times I've tried. And so yeah, Hollow Knight, where we have a question mark next to that, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna end up in my my top 20 at least, right? Like this game has been great. Yeah, so then after Hollow Knight, I'm gonna go and stick Jedi Fallen Order. The big issue I have with that is the mechanics were sound. It enhanced the Star Wars universe. It added depth. It was believable, understandable. But it was too short. It was way too short. It only took me about 30 minutes to go in and beat that game. And once again, I purchased the game. I supported the game because I love Respawn. I love the developer. I just, unfortunately, it did not provide the entertainment value that I wish it did. I may be going back and playing through that on a higher difficulty. Um, but yeah, it wasn't enough for me. I paying $60 for how many hours of content? It was probably about 30 hours of content. Just not enough for me. Nowhere close the ratio of entertainment per hour that I've gone for so many other games. There we go. So now it's just the little guys. I don't know where to find the little guys though. Because I didn't see any in here, and I assumed that they would be in here. This is kind of the only area for them to be in. Yeah, so yeah, these light seeds. So then after sorry, real quick, I'm just looking up whether these light seeds can be found here or if I'm just wasting my time. But yeah, Fallen Order was great. I think the lightsaber combat was good, and then you combine it with the parkour, 3D parkour of Titanfall with the wall running and stuff. Like, I think it's great. Um, they are also located in the infected crossroads. The seeds in the room east of the lift leading to the City of Tears do not show up after Broken Vessel's defeat as well. Okay. Okay, so there's... They do show up. Okay, so I need to go to Forgotten Crossroads for these. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna go and stop the video just about here, but I want to go and get some final thoughts in before I leave completely. And then the last, I think I've listed out 8 games in my runners up. There's probably well, yeah, okay, so let's go in and list out 2 more. I've listed 7 out so far. Let's go list out 2 more, and I'll bring it to 9, and then I'll kind of think about what can go and fill that 10th spot to kind of round things out. But Spider-Man PS4, I think, falls under my my runners-up. It's just a really good game. I think it depicts the character very well. The villain, the story is... It's maybe not emotional, like it didn't make me cry. Well, did it? Actually, I think it may have. The villain and the villain and hero interaction, at least. Fuck you, White Palace. But it's just, the web swing was great, the combat was great. It's just everything in that game really just checks off the great box. But unfortunately, I don't think anything really outstanding came through, which is unfortunately why it's not the highest here. Um, like it's a really solid good game. And even after I went and completed it 100% on my friend's PS4, I went and purchased it just so I can go and play through it again. Um, it does the character so much justice, and I love it because of that. So then, Xenoblade Chronicles. Probably I'll go and list that out, because the world itself, the creativity that went into, oh wait, I can't go through here, can I? Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, like the world itself, the creativity that went into to designing this world of two giant creatures, locked in combat, and the life that lives on them is just, it is so creative. And then just the different environments that happen because of it, right? You've got like interior like juices and things coming out of the organic being, and that makes sense, right? And then up higher, you're at a higher altitude. You're kind of shadowed by maybe the head or stuff like that, but it's icy, it's cold. That makes sense because it's higher altitude. And then you have like the giant pools of water that collect in the crevices that form lakes and rivers, the canyons. It's it's fantastic. The world is just of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is just fantastic. Okay, so I think it's continued this way. Oh, come on. So yeah, that's my sort of 9 runners-up that I identified. Alright, so I was told they were in here. No? Oh, come on, Google. Did you let me down? And then, yeah. Okay, maybe we'll go add Earthbound to this list. Need to go one more. No. Like, do these things count here? No, I still need to defeat 11 more, so... They're in the top right of the infected crossroads, right before the room with the garden of the grub. Okay. They drop from the ceiling as you cross the top of the room. Okay. Maybe they're, Okay, we'll go and check that out then. Sorry, this is kind of dragging on. I'd say maybe Earthbound fills out 10. Another RPG, great lines about maturing, or great sort of themes of maturing and growing up. The world is a devious, evil place. Everyone has their demons. It's yeah, and then the thing is, I don't think it stands the test of time as well. It's kind of a cult classic, but doesn't mean it's bad. It's a great game, great game, and I want to go and once again I have not completed that, so that's the goal, is to go and complete. Oh, I landed right on top of you. Okay, so then I'm gonna go up to the room with the guard and the grub, because that's where Steam says, or some random user on Steam says they are. So okay, and then while I'm here, I can go and turn in the Grim sort of for approval. What I was saying about Earthbound, yeah. So it's a good game. I suggest people play it, but I know it's not for everyone. And it's been a while since I've played it. I would like to complete it at some point, but I've never been able to. And I don't know why the reason for that is. I don't know why I've never been able to finish the game, but I haven't been. Maybe it's because I've had to restart it so many times, or because I've restarted it so many times that I just don't want to go through that process again, go through the early stages. Yeah. But yeah, it's a very lovable game. We'll go put that at 10. Alright, so then we're gonna get into the they drop from here? We're not here either. Right before the room. Okay, right before this room. Ah, there we go. Oh no, this is Mila's room. I don't want to kill Mila though. I don't want to kill her. Alright, let's see if they've respawned. Yep, there we go. Oh. There we go. Alright, alright. And we're right near the... Uh-oh. We're right next to the Temple of the Black Egg. That would be progression. I don't want progression just yet. Jump over the door. No chance of getting sucked into that. Yeah. So there we go. That's I guess part 2 of my favorite games, and why. And then this next episode is going to be dedicated, I think, to games that should have made the list, but haven't. Games that have been lauded as very good games, but I haven't gone as attached to for one reason or another. Anyway, I will see you then.